Sydney Sweeney's debut hosting gig on SNL. What went down? And would she take the stage again? Delve into the buzz as we explore the rising star's performance on Saturday Night Live and her possible return to the iconic show. Her revelation. Sydney Sweeney's Saturday Night Live hosting debut was a personal milestone. During her SXSW panel on 12th March, the actress shared that her March 2 appearance on the show was scary, but something she ultimately wanted to do. "It was so scary my mouth dried up," said Sweeney. "I am having panic attacks thinking of it. I wanted to do it because I think it's important to do things that scare you, and the whole SNL experience was challenging and terrifying." The Anyone But You star said that she learned to conquer her fears at a young age. "This is ingrained in my memory," shared Sweeney. "I was 14, and I got to a test for a recurring role on TV. It was ABC Family. There were more than 2 people in the room. I got so nervous, and I forgot all of my lines. The experience made her so scared. I remember apologizing profusely, and I asked to leave," she said. "It set me up to know that it's okay to be nervous and turn it into excitement." It's no surprise that Sweeney told people that she hopes to host SNL again. "I was so scared, but I had so much fun," she told people earlier this month. "I was so happy I did it, and I would love to do it again maybe one day because I feel like now I'm prepared and I can do it, and I know and I can expect what the process is like, and everyone's so fun. It is just such a great group of people." Fans may be able to watch Sweeney and Powell's on-screen chemistry once again, as Sweeney previously told people that the two are dreaming up a bunch of different ideas for a sequel of Anyone But You. "We haven't really solidified what we want to do yet, but we're just dreaming up a bunch of different things and seeing what clicks best," she adds. Moving on, let's discuss what went on in the show with Sydney as the host. The SNL episode Sydney Sweeney hosted for the first time. The prolific actor remarked that people have probably seen her in Anyone But Your Euphoria, but you definitely didn't see me in Madame Web. She recounted her upbringing in Spokane and how she convinced her parents to let her embark on a career as an actor by presenting them with a 5-point plan, as well as a much shorter backup plan. Show boobs. The light self-effacement continues as she touches on a few controversies that have sprung up around her, including pictures of her attending a Trump-themed party for her mom and her weight loss regimen. Sweeney also used her opening monologue to poke fun at rumors that she had an affair with her Anyone But You co-star Glenn Powell. "That's obviously not true. Me and my fiancé produced the movie together, and he was there the entire shoot, and I just want to let everyone know that he's the man of my dreams and we're still together and stronger than ever," said Sweeney. After she asked for the camera to cut to her fiancé Jonathan Davino, Powell was hilariously seen sitting in the audience. In the first sketch, a squad of NYPD detectives welcome 2 college interns, Sweeney and Heidi Gardner, to the precinct. The girls present a bratty, apathetic attitude, but they immediately crack a bunch of cold cases via social media savvy. "We're 22 and can find out literally anything about anyone with literally no information." One of the detectives pulls a Chris D'Elia and freaks out when he learns that you definitely can take screenshots on Snapchat. While the chief books it once his OnlyFans account is discovered, if for some reason you find the mere listing of social media platforms hilarious, you'll love this one. Then, a new Please Don't Destroy sees the boys despondent over the passing of a close friend, who died while on vacation in Arizona after a donkey kicked him in the nuts so hard he fell into the Grand Canyon. They share this info with Sweeney, who finds this, as well as the rest of the outlandish details, hard to believe, until they show her video footage of the tragedy. Next, Sweeney plays the captain of a high school cheerleading squad crushing on the new star basketball player. Being the queen bee, she decides she must date this mysterious hunk, only to discover it's actually Air Bud, played by a real dog. Big Bench is a new court TV series featuring not 1, not 3, not 10, but 17 judges. The Honorable Everybody presides over a juicy case of redneck love gone wrong. Much mugging ensues. Sweeney's attempt at a southern accent is pretty bad, but it's somehow better than Chloe Fineman's. During the show's dress rehearsal, Sweeney tells Nwodum and Gardner that she has a crush on Bowen Yang. They encourage her to go for it, which confuses her because she was working under the impression that he's gay. It turns out this is not the case. He only plays gay on the show because it's a shortcut to laughs. They soon hook up, only for straight Bowen to dump her. Following this, Sweeney and Sarah Sherman play Long Island wedding beauticians who've just finished applying makeup to a soon-to-be bride. When their client receives a letter from the groom dumping her hours before the ceremony, they feign sympathy while simultaneously trying to get her to Venmo them, leave a good review on their Yelp page, and pose for a photo for their portfolio. Sweeney's East Coast accent isn't any better than her Southern one, and there's a lot of dead air and obvious cue card reading further dragging this one down. Following the first performance from musical guest Casey Musgrave, it's time for Weekend Update. Their first guest is woman who is aging gracefully, there to discuss the announcement of a forthcoming season of The Golden Bachelorette. The overconfident, oversexed, surgery-addicted senior believes that age is just a number. Ignore it unless you're in a school zone. This starts off annoying, but Gardner's unhinged performance and a late, unexpectedly gross visual gag save it. Later, Michael Che welcomes Charlotte, a stingray who's lived for years in a North Carolina aquarium without a male companion and yet is somehow pregnant. She's got big news for Che. You gonna be a daddy? Che denies his paternity and floats the idea that her pregnancy is a case of immaculate conception, which she confirms it was immaculate. In that you immaculated, then I immaculated 3 times back to back. While not as prevalent as the ongoing Sarah Sherman-Colin Jost update rivalry of the past few seasons, the running joke of Che knocking up various characters, always played by Noodum, is one of the better ones the show has going. It was a given that tonight's episode would be loaded with obvious boob jokes, so small credit to the show that outside of the one example in Sweeney's monologue, they held off until the halfway point. At a small-town Hooters, Sweeney's new waitress makes a small fortune in tips on her first day for obvious reasons and much to the chagrin of her co-workers. She chalks her popularity with the customers up to her friendly service, even though spilled all over them and made one guy relapse. This hits all the expected beats before going off the rails towards the end when James Austin Johnson shows up as company mascot Hooter the Owl. As is the show's wont, the episode wraps up with a restaurant set sketch. Andrew Dismukes and Sweeney play a couple out for a dinner date, which is rudely interrupted by the loud, drunken antics of 4 bros 1 table over. Dismukes goes over to confront them, but instead of telling them to shut up, he gets them to admit that they love each other. This succeeds in quieting them down because nothing shuts up a group of guys like an earnest expression of how much they mean to one another. Sweeney pulls a similar tact with a noisy group of women on their other side by reminding them of their mother's humanity. At the last minute, Sweeney's character dumps her husband for her hunky boss, played, of course, by Powell.